Hi, and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah, and today I'm doing a reading for the sign of Pisces for the month of August. I have already meditated on the cards, and I have already shuffled the cards, and this is the reading that I have for you today. Please remember, this is a general reading. There may be some parts that do not resonate with you. Please take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest behind. So, as you can see in the past position, we have the King of Pentacles, which suggests that in the past your efforts yielded results, that in the past you were working at something and pretty dedicated to it, and you were kind of persevering through an obstacle, and you were successful at something. The Ten of Wands is a card of a heavy burden. It could be that an unreasonable amount of responsibilities were placed on you in the past. It could be that you kind of felt like you were pushing yourself too hard in the recent past, or maybe in a much further past, because the lingering effect of that, maybe you're no longer burdened, but you still very vividly remember what it's like to have something that kind of burdens you such a great deal. I mean, you are affected by that memory. You're affected by that experience. Maybe you had to be kind of responsible for your family, or maybe you had to be responsible for something that you weren't expecting to. And although you felt quite a strong burden, you were still successful, because the King of Pentacles suggests that this is a person who definitely has resources, has ways of making, being generous and making decisions that affect other people as well. The combination here suggests that you could feel a little bit, maybe you're drawing on that experience when you had to work hard and you had to be committed. The King of Pentacles is very big on commitment. So maybe you felt a little bit burdened by a commitment that you had in the past, and you're carrying that experience with you, and maybe sort of that is affecting you. And it's up to you to know, how it's affecting you. Maybe it is something that you've learned in the past and made you stronger, and you're using it to your advantage, to your benefit. Maybe you are kind of using it to, for the good things. Maybe some of you are not. But it's definitely you've overcome something pretty substantial in the past, and that memory is still lingering. In the position of an obstacle, in the negative position, we have the Hierophant, which is generally a very strong card, very positive card. It suggests that this person who could be a husband, a boss, it could be an authority figure, a teacher, a mentor, an older friend, an older sibling, a parent. This suggests to me, the Hierophant being in the negative position, it tells me that you're unable to think for yourself. You're trying to please other people. That is costing you, that it has a cost on your mental abilities to process information. You're also, you may have anxiety, as we see the Nine of Swords is a card that has a lot of anxiety in it, but you're definitely maybe afraid to rock the boat a little bit. You're only seeing what other people are telling you. So for example, if there's something going on in your work situation, it could be that you are believing one person but not the other, whereas you should weigh the evidence kind of without being attached to it. you are being manipulated. You're being kind of used to achieve someone's purpose. Maybe someone is using you to do the dirty work or something, and you're not maybe realizing. Maybe they're very skillful at how they present information to you, but generally this person is very wise, very traditional. It could be an educator. But the Page of Swords is the clarifier for this, and it kind of even adds more to the negative influence, because the Page of Swords could be bad news for some. Generally, this is a positive card. It represents a person who's diplomatic and smart and has a purpose, has some creativity. But for some of you, it may mean that bad news are on the way. It could also mean that you may say something that will get you in trouble, because of course swords represent words, and those can be hurtful, those can be critical. The words can be used by you against you, or they could be used by someone else against you, or you could be saying hurtful words to people, although I'm not really seeing that in this reading. But there's something that it's a negative card for most meanings, like in a love relationship, or if there's a something that concerns you in your partnership, in your love partnership. This could suggest that you're being ignored, that your partner is not addressing concerns you may have. And of course, money-wise, this is definitely, a warning to expect financial loss. Although I wouldn't worry. I don't think this relates to money, because we've got Pentacles and the future outcome. The Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, I think, solidify that your financial well-being is going to continue. But the Page of Swords is definitely a bit of a bad news. It could be on a family front. It could be maybe you're not getting promoted. Maybe you're not getting something you wanted to or looking forward to it. But it's definitely a bit of bad news. So you will have, during the month of August, you will have a little bit of a moment where you kind of feel upset, and of course it could be that one of your projects is delayed or outright canceled. Maybe a gathering that you wanted to have is not going forward, or seeing someone that you wanted to see is not actually going to happen. But also, do be careful, because there seems to be someone in your entourage, someone that is maybe present in your daily life, that is kind of maybe using your naivete a little bit. In the present position, we have the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Swords. Let's start with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is definitely a card that is all about guilt. It's all about depression. It's all about anguish. It's all about difficult times, dark times. This is definitely a card that is going to affect many people differently. For some, it could just be that you are a little bit worried, and you are having maybe an odd bad dream or whatnot. And for others, it could signify pretty harsh dark times, where even professional assistance may be needed, because you may start to believe the negativity. The swords, like I said, represent words, and in this card it could be that someone is using cruel words against you, and you believe them. It could also mean that you are being cruel to someone and you're using words against them. But the good thing about this card is this is not the card in the major position. This is only a clarifier. So this is a bit of a background. You will have a few days in August that's going to freak you out a little bit, going to shake you up a little bit. But the good thing about swords is that it is air energy and it goes by fast. And we know that it's going to go by fast because the future outcome in this reading is amazing. The Seven of Cups is wanting something that you can't have. This is the opposite of a wish card, you know? It suggests that you want something but you're not putting in the work to do it, or you're not following through, or you're not committed, or you're putting all the effort and all the work that you're doing in a wrong direction that you're not accomplishing. This is definitely a card of not getting what you're hoping to get. It's a card of illusions. It's a card of being a big dreamer, you know, sort of sitting and dreaming away when it really will never come true, basically. And of course, maybe that is affecting you. Maybe you're taking it pretty negatively, kind of. But the combination here is pretty rough. The Seven of Cups means you are having this emotional roller coaster. One moment you're laughing, another moment you're crying, and then at night you're unable to sleep and you have anxiety. There's a bit of this is not, you know, going to apply to everyone, especially with the degree of the severity. It could be that you are actually able to get one of these cups. So maybe you are able to accomplish one goal, but there's going to be a lot of things that are not accomplished because of kind of illusions, because not planning properly, and there is going to be a little bit of anxiety, and for some it's different. Some people recognize anxiety, acknowledge it, work through it, maybe, you know, walk around the building or around the yard or, you know, down the street, kind of shake it off, kind of, you know, movement creates endorphins that kind of dissipate the problem. But for others it would be paralyzing, where no movement is possible because, you know, there's something that, I mean, the background of this card is black, you know, that tells us that it's a pretty dark, it's going to be a bit of a dark time. But the great thing is that in the future you have Knight of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles. Aces are very powerful, and you're getting a brand new beginning. Something is coming to an end so that something is going to begin. The Knight of Pentacles can be many different things. For some it could be a reward that is coming to you. It could be an unexpected reward. It could be a bit of an expected reward, but it's nice because it balances out this Page of Swords, which could bring some bad news your way. The Knight of Pentacles suggests that most of August is going to be pretty structured. It's going to be methodical. Knight of Pentacles doesn't move very fast, but this is a very solid card. It's Earth element, and Earth, you know, it's stability, it's structure. It's definitely slow moving. So that's one thing, is you may feel like you're trying to have progress at something and you're not going to get progress, because the Knight of Pentacles is not like the Swords. Pentacles move generally pretty slow. It could, for some of you, it could mean that you will have an increase in your responsibilities, but you will be compensated for those. For some of you, it could mean that you need to be patient and you need to let things unfold as they are, especially after the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Swords and the Hierophant in the negative position. It could just be that maybe towards the end of August, you could take a long weekend. You could do something really nice. I mean, people say, you know, go to a spa, take a day. I think that you should definitely kind of upgrade that a little bit. You can probably travel, even if by car, to like a super nice hotel, or you know, go stay at a beach for a few days, but do something extraordinarily nice, especially after, you know, overcoming some of these pretty significant dark times. And the Ace of Pentacles is phenomenal. It suggests that there is a a new start that promises to be abundant. It could be, it is, the divine is responding to what it is that you want. So if you are lacking in friends, it's going to bring you friends. If you're lacking in a job that satisfies you, it's going to bring a job that satisfies you. Now remember, this is not like a where kind of you get satisfaction 100%. We're all human beings, and we're all inherently, faulty. So there's definitely going to be an event that will make you very, very happy, relieved, optimistic. But it may not be necessarily perfect and completely just 100% flawless. It depends on how you see the world. If you recognize the beauty as is, then you will appreciate it far more. If you are kind of a little bit not as, some people tend to be kind of a little bit closed off, they're not as open to many different experiences, then in that regard you may kind of notice that something is wonderful coming towards you, but you may not see all the advantages to it. It's very important to remember that you need to meditate, you need to allow yourself to process different emotions, not just sort of, okay, that person just made me mad, I'm gonna fly off the handle, or that person didn't do what they were supposed to do. It's important to work through your emotions. If they're positive, if they're negative, it's important to understand why you feel the way you feel. It helps you work through problems faster and achieve your goals as well. Let's see what the Energy Oracle has for us. I meditated and shuffled and pulled 2 cards from the Energy Oracle, and it says, wow, the World and 4th Chakra Archangel Raphael. So definitely the World is a reminder that the divine, and of course I think it very much relates to the Ace of Pentacles. Definitely you have many, many, many opportunities in front of you, probably too many. You won't be able to take advantage of all of them, but the man in this picture is looking out over a bay above which the beautiful sphere of Earth is rotating. This card is reminding you to expand your vision and contemplate some much broader options. The world is wide, so there's a lot out there to consider. Drawing this card also lets you know that you have unlimited resources available to you, and now is the time to think big. As they say, the world is your oyster, so get ready to gobble it up. I think you may have received this card before, which if you're receiving it again, the divine is just reiterating the point that they're trying to make, which is you need to broaden your horizon. You need to explore many different options. The Raphael card, Raphael here extends a beautiful green energy surrounded by gentle waves of pink to your heart center. This card upright indicates that you now have a greater readiness to receive love from others as well as from yourself. Remember that we tend to kind of limit ourselves from whom we can receive love. I'm not necessarily, love takes many different forms. It doesn't necessarily have to be sexual. It can be between friends. It could be between parents and children. It could be between coworkers. It could be, love could be just a connection where another person just understands your feelings or understands the experiences, or just is able to kind of get you. Love is very many different things, so make sure you notice it when it is offered to you. This tender vibrations of Raphael remind you to encourage yourself with the compassionate self-talk that you desire to hear from others. Know that as you do, the light from your heart center will shine with an irresistible beauty, and the universe will send people and situations that cause your sense of love and support to grow and grow. So if you want someone to tell you you're beautiful, you're strong, you're smart, say that to yourself. And the more you say it, the more you attract it. The law of attraction is very, very powerful. There are many different things, in play as we live our lives. There's the choices that we make, there's the memories that we have that affect us that sometimes we don't work through. There are external factors that it's layers of layers of layers. So remember to make sure that you broaden your horizons. Remember to make sure that you meditate. When you meditate and think about nothing, you declutter your mind, you make things simpler. All these things where sometimes people have conflict and drama, it can just be so unnecessary. So it's very important to meditate so that you clear your mind. You are able to have channels, subconscious channels to the divine, and receive and maybe even be able to understand messages from the divine, which of course help you in your journey. Let's see what cards we've got from ancestors and angels. And snake, shed old skin, and lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. So the snake could also be a bit of a medicinal sign. I like to say that sort of upfront. It definitely, when I see this card, I think of healing. There's definitely some healing that is happening in your life in August in one or more areas. A snake is a very, very powerful animal. It goes back in history to the primordial times, to basically the beginning of life. And as we go later in history, it became a bit of a negative symbol, but it used to be that snake is a symbol of power, a symbol of wisdom, a symbol of life itself. It only in the later time, well, as you know, when Eve, in the Garden of Eden, right, there was a snake around the tree, which suggests that it's, it could be a serpent, which is devilish energy. But that is an interpretation of some people. There are many other peoples who find snake to be a symbol of love and courage and bravery, and have incredible, endurance and perseverance. So there is a bit of a duality, I guess you could say, and snake could mean a lot of different things, but it's a powerful sign when you see it, because the number one thing the divine wants you to know is healing. Cast off the old, reveal your true colors, talents, and gifts to the world. The energy of renewal is washing over your life at this time. If for some reason you feel that your true self hasn't been recognized, or you've been misread by others, know this energy is now leaving you. As you've been working through your old stories and all the self-limiting beliefs that you've accumulated, you've been peeling away a shield of skin that has created limiting experiences. So definitely in this reading, especially with the Hierophant here, there's a lot of limitation that I see. Either you have self-imposed limitation, or you've allowed other people to limit you, but you need to break free. And I think you will be breaking free because you have an incredible Knight of Pentacles, which could also, this could mean your energy, but it could also mean that someone, you may have like a loyal supporter in your ranks that will always be by your side. Like I said, for others, it could mean there's a reward for being strong and courageous that is coming your way. Absolutely leave comments when you're done with this reading, because I definitely want to hear back about how the month of August actually turned out. Let's see, Basically, the snake suggests the message from the divine is this is a time for renewal, abundance, and connection. Let yourself be reborn and let yourself be celebrated. Some of us don't have many occasions to celebrate. Maybe it would be good for you to celebrate something, even though it may not be, a huge big thing. Sometimes just to, boost the ego, especially after the Nine of Swords, that you've had here, all of this anxiety. Maybe it's important to have a boost. It will kind of reset your mind a little bit and help you in, your plans in September, October, and the rest of the year. Lady is a card that suggests reap what you have sown and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Grow and expand in all areas of your life. Fertility, growth, and abundance are all imminent when the lady arrives in your life. All the seeds you have planted are coming to life, and there are plenty more rewards to come. In a material sense, this card represents financial security and comfort. The lady can also usher in other forms of abundance, opportunities, marriage proposals, even the birth of a child. She will help you respect nature and connect with its forces in order to have a genuinely supported journey throughout life. What a wonderful message. Also, I have pulled a card from the Messages from the Universe card deck, and it says, I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. So being aware, I think this card is the one that opens your horizons. If you are unaware, it's much easier to take advantage of what you think and how you think. So maybe a good start to expand your horizons would just to be to, look what's going on around your neighborhood, what's going on around your city, what's going on around, people that are around you. The more you pay attention, the more you become aware, and the more you are able to anticipate and overcome problems as well. I hope, Pisces, that you've enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Please, like I said, feel free to leave any comments, because it helps me connect with your energies as well. And I also appreciate all feedback. And please check back next time, because I will be doing readings for the first 2 weeks of August, beginning of next week. So make sure to check back for that. And thank you so much for visiting. I will see you next time.